For centuries, they've lived in the shadows. But there is one place where monsters can finally rest in peace.
Sir, we have an urgent plumbing issue.
Plumbing?
There is a clogged toilet in room 348.
It's okay, we all get stomach aches, Mr. Bigfoot. Welcome to Hotel Transylvania.
Do not disturb.
Not disturb. Disturb.
Human free since 1898.
I love this guy. Hello?
A human.
What is this place? It's just a normal hotel, nothing going on here.
What's happening?
I'm be sorry. It's my mistake.
What is wrong with you people?
Hotel Transylvania.
So much for do not disturb.
Welcome to the press conference for Hotel Transylvania. Just a few points before we begin. There'll be no flash photography in the press conference at all. As the talent enters the room, photos may be taken from your seats, but once the press conference begins, only the 6 accredited photo agencies are allowed to take photographs. TIFF will make photos from this press conference available on the media site within 24 hours. Our volunteers with microphones will be moving around the room to handle questions, so when you ask your question, please remember to identify yourself and your media outlet. Everyone, please make sure that your cell phones are turned off, and the press conference is streamed live at www.tiff.net. Our moderator for this session is Eric Kohanek, and it's my pleasure to welcome the director, executive producer, and the cast of Hotel Transylvania. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Nice to see you. How are you? How are you? Hey, Osher. Hi, guys. Hello back there. Yes, yes. KJ. Hello up there. I got the smile. I like it, KJ. That's okay. That's okay. Comfortable? Oh, okay. Your nameplate is going to really throw.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the press conference for Hotel Transylvania. With us today, we've got quite a convention up here, quite a group, so we'll go one by one. Seated next to me is Gendy Tartakovsky, who is the director of the film. Next to Gendy, we have Adam Sandler.
Thank you so much. Give it up. Give it up. That's right. Ow.
Adam provides the voice of Dracula in the movie. Next to Adam, we have Selena Gomez.
Give it up again.
Now, people don't usually clap at these.
Selena Don's
I know,
role
they're
of
like,
Mavis, Dracula's daughter.
We're getting a smattering going.
Down at the end, we have Andy Samberg.
Whoa, no way.
Pronouncing it. No way.
He provides the voice for
You're
Jonathan.
good, man. You are. Yeah.
In the back row behind me, we have Robert Smigel.
Yeah.
Yep. Who's the
Robert.
producer on the movie.
I didn't know.
Next to Robert, Molly Shannon, who plays the voice of Wanda, the werewolf bride.
What, did you guys just see The Master or something? Wake up. Good Lord.
Next to Molly, we have Kevin James, who provides the voice
Kevin
for
James.
Frankenstein monster.
Making the trip.
Next to Frank.
In and out. In and out.
Next to Kevin, we have Fran Drescher, who provides the voice of Eunice, the bride of Frankenstein.
All the joy she's brought you people. Give it up.
And last but certainly not least, David Spade, who provides the voice of the Invisible Man. We have people manning microphones here, so don't be afraid to raise up your hand really high so they can spot you if you have a question. I'll toss it out to Gendy first. Gendy, I understand this is your first feature animated production. How does it feel to have that showcased at
I'll take this one.
It feels great. You know, I grew up loving animation, and it's kind of been a dream. I've done a lot of television work, but to be on this stage is great, and it's a great opportunity.
You did a fantastic job, Andy.
Samurai Jack.
Yeah, there we go.
We have time for one more.
We got a question right down front. Bruce?
One more. Let's get that. So make it good.
Okay. Bruce Kirkland, Toronto Sun. Question for the actors, but let's start with Adam. How do you find your inner monster as a voice for an animated film?
It was a very scary process. I went through many choices in the car driving to the first session. And then ultimately I said, I'll just do a little twist on the Zohan. And that's about it.
Can you go ahead.
You've done animation before. So what trick is there to do animation versus a live action that maybe you shared with some of the other folks that perhaps hadn't done animation before?
Well, it's one line at a time, which is nice. You say the same line maybe 4 or 5 different times, and you go, I think one of those will work. When you do that, during a regular movie, the other actor seems to say, why are you saying that? I didn't phrase that right. Help me.
For me, it was actually great to watch them work because they would say, like, we'd have a room full of people, and they would start saying the line, and like nobody laughs, and they start adjusting the timing, and all of a sudden everybody laughs, and it was such a great process to watch them kind of almost direct themselves. I didn't have to do much because they just got the performance out.
That's good. That's better.
Again, do you want to talk a bit about the Look of Dracula and what that was based on?
Yeah, I mean, we first started we wanted the film to be really expressive, so we first kind of started to look at Adam, actually, and kind of break him down to the barest essentials, which is kind of like a Muppet, kind of beady eyes and a big mouth. and then started to build on
This is over.
Started to build on that, so there's an essence, I think, of Adam in there, but then it becomes his own character. And we just wanted things to be very cartoony, very caricature, to have its own identity.
Great. We have a question down here.
Good narrow Sandler.
What?
Mohit Rajan, City TV. You guys, a lot of the people on stage have a background in improv, etc. Did you have some liberties you could take with the script at different times where Kennedy was like, go for it, go for gold, get yours? Or was it, hey, I know exactly what I want, this is the vision, just say it and get out?
There was no say it or get out. I think Adam was in there a lot, and Robert. And when you have all these people, I think you do it different ways, and you do some maybe that are a little more adult versions of jokes and this and that, and then they ultimately decide what sort of makes sense for the movie, right?
Yeah, I think there was a lot less ad-libbing than I thought there was going to be, because I think once they like the joke, they're going to make it work, rather than just to skip off to do another one.
Right. Also, when you got Smigel and Sandler and people giving you jokes, they tend to be awesome jokes.
That's right, Andy.
Yeah.
Question back here.
Mila Kanev, Mix TV.
Hey, how are you?
How are you?
You look nice.
Thank you. So do you.
Thank you.
My kids
Better
are
than
actually
Gendy
big
made me
fans. Big fans.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Oh, my God.
That's
Teenagers, like your
that's
audience.
great.
Anyway.
They won't be
it
soon.
looks like you really had a wonderful time, all of you. First of all, I wanted to know, for somebody who hasn't done animation before, how challenging was it? And question for you, Adam. How was it different technology, or what was different since you've done 8 Crazy Nights?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. What's the first part? I'll get to that one.
Well, how challenging was it, and how much fun did you have? How did you collaborate together?
Fran, what do you think?
I'm still thinking about how this guy wouldn't let me be as sweet as I wanted to be. He kept wanting me to sound, obnoxious and annoying and angry all the time. He said, just be angrier.
Can you talk a bit about assembling the cast then?
Yes. Oh, yeah. From a long time ago, when I did 8 Crazy Nights with Covert and a few of my other friends, it was more like the old style. That was was it like pre-Shrek or something? I don't know. Right around that time, but we did a real low budget one. That was fun. But what these guys do and how quickly it gets done, it was very it looks a lot nicer. Yeah.
It's just like CGI versus painted cell animation.
Right.
It's like a big jump in animation,
Yeah.
Like the things they can do with computers now and nonlinear editing, it's really incredible.
We're not here
Is that
right
what you were going to say?
And a question over here.
You almost had my question there. Andrea Case, CTV News. Good afternoon, everybody. Hey! Let's talk about how you all came to this little project here, especially the people in the back row, because we want to hear from you too.
Yeah.
And you too, Selena. How did you come to this project? Did you get the call, or did you audition? Did you beg Adam? Did you talk to Jamie?
I got
How
a
did it
script
happen?
in the mail, and I read it and said I'd love to play Dracula. And Adam said, go to page 56. It's highlighted. I go, okay, no, this guy's cool. And that was just, no, Adam, for me personally, and most of these guys, you can answer, but he called and said there might be a fun thing for you to do in here and try to make it good and give it your normal 80%. I said, of course. Molly?
Yeah, well, I've known Adam for a long time. We went to NYU drama school together. So I have to honestly say, working with Adam and everybody it just doesn't even feel like work. It just feels like you're with your friends having fun. And I was just so excited to be a part of it and to be asked to do the movie.
You were fantastic, Molly.
I didn't want to do it, but I did. Adam's got some pictures of me naked outside of McDonald's, and he's going to show my wife, so I had to. No, but we have a blast every time we work together. It's the greatest.
We got kids. We want to make a movie that the kids can see and have a good time.
Yeah. We want to make good, fun movies, and it was great to work with all these people. It was a lot of fun.
Yes, it was.
Adam, when you assemble a cast like this, do you automatically go to the well of people that you've worked with? Is that what makes you feel most comfortable?
These guys are great, and I like being around them. Probably that's the first thing, I'm sure, but I just know they're great at what they do, and they're the funniest people I know, so that's why I like them doing movies with them.
Good morning, guys. Rudy Blair, 680 News. I wanted to know, when you guys were doing this process and doing the voiceovers, were you guys working together? Were like maybe 2 or 3 people in the same room at the same time? And if so, because it looks like you guys have been having such a great time together just here, I mean, were there times where you guys were laughing so hard you just couldn't finish the scene, and why?
No.
It is funny, but sometimes it gets to work where you know that they're sort of on a schedule and you got to get stuff done, and so you play around with each line and make it funny, and then in the booth they might go, you can tell someone's laughing or they seem happy with it, and you
But
kind
usually I
of
gotta say also too, you usually don't have anybody else to play off of. And we had I had you and Molly and we Sandler, and we had a good time in there. And it makes it a lot better.
Fran was alone.
Were you the whole time by yourself?
I never saw anybody.
Yeah, that's
I was all alone.
It's easier when you got obviously when you have people around you.
Yeah, it's better, but the way
He plays
Fran
my
did.
husband.
Yes.
I play his wife,
And I never-
this is the first time we're seeing each other. We hugged each other like, oh my God, I'm Mrs. Frankenstein.
Selena, you talked a bit yesterday about diversifying your career, reaching out and doing other things. Can you talk a bit about the challenges of just doing voice as opposed to...
Yeah, this one was actually, I've done a little animation, but it's like a couple of lines. So this was the first time that I actually did something that was a big part. And it was hard at times because it's hard to act with your voice, and it's unusual for me because I'm new to it. But I had a lot of fun, and Adam was there almost every recording I did. So it was nice to have his support, and I hope...
You're my maybe wavy, of course.
So.
Question down here.
You guys all have different relationships with the city of Toronto. Can you talk about the importance of bringing a fun film like this to the Toronto Film Festival, and what you know about the city and what you enjoy about being here?
Love Canada.
Yeah, I love Canada
Yeah.
too. I have a lot of Canadian friends, and I always love coming here. I've shot a couple of films here, and it's always fun. It's a fabulous city. It's a great country, and Canadians are wonderful people. I really always enjoy coming here.
That's right.
Yeah, we did Tommy Boy movie 10 years ago or whatever here.
17 years ago.
That's horrible. And more accurate. Whenever it was a couple years ago. And we did it all up here, and it was great. So I had great memories. That was one of my favorite movies ever. So when we did it up here, so every time I come up here.
In summary, David went to the brass rail nightly.
And Chris said we were supposed to spend our per diem at the brass rail, or they take it back. I said, I don't think that's true. But I'm done talking.
Anybody else? Andy, anybody else?
I'm on the fence about Canada. I don't know. We'll see.
Andy, you want to talk a bit about Jonathan and where you reach into your suitcase of voices when you came up with
Yeah, Johnny Stein. Well, I mean, I was actually lucky enough to do some of my stuff with Sandler. Like,
oh yeah, we had a good
a lot
time.
of our scenes were together, so we got to play off each other.
Mhm.
I was gonna say I like doing voiceover because it's probably the only time in my entire life that people tell me to do things like more over the top.
Yeah.
They're like, what? Do it even crazier than that. I'm like, I don't think that's allowed.
You were fantastic.
But then you just scream your lines, and they're like, good.
Got it. Your character, Smigel, was the one who wrote most of your stuff, and your character he's one of my favorite guys in the movie, buddy. He's no one could have done it as good as you. I couldn't believe how funny he was on Saturday Night Live at the time and was doing read-throughs and stuff like that. So you were like smooth with just reading it and stuff, and I wasn't used to doing cold readings. I was choking.
No.
Yeah. It took me 6 to 7 takes to get it right. You always nailed it right away.
I would say the first time on anything animated I've worked on, we were actually like running scenes.
Yeah.
Like, so the
Get around.
timing of it would have been as if we were shooting it live action.
That's right.
Yeah, which is kind of cool.
Rob, maybe you want to chime in on how this project came together and how you guys chose to make it a theatrical film, and what the difference is actually in approaching animation theatrically as opposed to something for television. Maybe you could talk about that too.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's a lot of questions. All right. Hi, everybody. I entered this project at a very late stage. I think this thing was in development. Michelle Murdaka, producer in the audience. 10 years in development. See, it's a great title, Hotel Transylvania, right off the bat. So any studio want that title. Then took a lot of time to figure out a script that the studio was happy with, and then Adam got involved. I think Peter Bainham had done the last draft, and when Adam got involved, he asked me to come in and work on it, and so I can't really speak to the origin of the project so much.
I mean, I think for television versus theatrical, I think the pressures are so much different. Where in TV you have an episode every week, and so if you kind of mess one up, usually the people forgive you, and then you have another one next week. Hopefully it's better. With theatrical, you kind of have one weekend, and you better get it right, otherwise it's dead. And so it's thinking of it like everything has to mean something, and everything's important. And you have that one weekend for the pressure. It's a whole different mindset.
And as you guys were putting this together, why was the decision to go 3D, for instance, and does that pose a different challenge to you? Or
I mean, 3D is difficult because it's, you're making two movies at the same time. Some things that work in 2D don't work in 3D, but it's, the market is embracing 3D right now, and it's, and it's fun to watch it, and we gave it a lot of depth, and so it wasn't that as much as challenging.
Adam, you wanna chime in on that at all?
No.
No. Well, then let's talk about a bit of the music. You wrote some of the songs for the movie.
You know what? The rap song at the end. We were one night. We said maybe we should end the movie with a rap song. Where excuse me, that was disgusting. So I do remember like we had an idea. Maybe Andy and Selena will just be, the whole gang will be singing, and then Dracula gets kind of pretends to get forced on stage, and then takes over in a rap. And Smigel, crazy Smigel, we were gonna write the song. When I got to Smigel's hotel room, he was just in his boxer shorts, and he always has his socks dangling off his feet. And he was writing, and he just wrote the whole thing. Get the details right, yeah. He wrote the whole thing, and I just said, put my name on it. He did. That's how I like to write songs. Underwear and weird One socks. sock. I wrote some of. Adam and I have worked on many songs together. They're completely inappropriate for children, though. Yeah. In the This past. This was a nice departure for everybody.
Yeah. No cursing.
We have a question down here.
Barb Van Cherry, Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Since you are making this movie for children and families, is there anyone on the panel who has a strong memory of the first movie you saw in the theater? Sort of what impression it left on you?
I can't say mine.
What was yours?
Seed of Chucky.
Oh, was it? How old were you?
I think I was.
What movie was that?
Seed of Chucky.
Seed of Chucky.
Yeah. That Seed of Chucky.
I think I was probably 9.
That's old enough.
I snuck into Saturday Night Fever. It was the first movie I ever saw.
Really?
Yeah, and what I took away from it was when John Travolta ate 2 slices of pizza at once and folded them together. I thought that was the coolest move ever. And I've adopted it, and I've made it my own. I have. So that was it. Sorry.
Anybody else?
Nothing.
Mine was also Seed of Chucky. Happy accident.
Taxi driver.
Adam, talk a bit about then your first exposure to animation as a kid. What first?
Oh, I think Dumbo. Dumbo, I think, was the first one I saw and locked into, and Bambi killed me as a kid. And, I liked all the sweet ones. I like Popeye a lot too, which Gendy's gonna be doing. Popeye was one of my favorite animated shows. But movies, yeah, Dumbo and Bambi, those are big.
Okay, we have a question down here.
Hi guys, Dave McGinn, Globe and Mail. Robert, I had a question for you. What was it like writing jokes for a project like this, as opposed to some more, adult directed humor?
Yeah,
You've done a lot of.
I've done some of that. I guess it was easy. It was really easy. I mean, we almost, so many of us started at Saturday Night Live, and you're kind of writing for that assignment, and so you're going to go in certain directions at times. But I've always loved cartoons since I was a kid. I used to draw. I wanted to be Charles Schultz.
Aww.
He was my idol. It is sad that I didn't turn out that way, but so and Bugs Bunny cartoons are still probably my favorite art form completely. And so it's really it wasn't. I was excited to write something that had a limitation, because honestly, my favorite comedies are not the raunchiest ones. They're ones that like Bugs Bunny cartoons that derive from humanity and comedies of manners, that kind of thing. So I was excited to not have to put the word poop in Although it might be in there.
Only a couple- yeah, only once or twice.
Yeah.
Get it, get it.
Question over here.
Josh from WNUE TV. You guys bring a lot of musical talent to this animation, particularly Adam, Selena, and Andy. What was it like working together musically for this film?
CeeLo jammed a little bit too. Huh?
CeeLo.
Yeah.
CeeLo. Well, Andy wrote a song for the movie too.
Yeah, Andy did.
Oh,
Yes.
right. The kind of Ramonesy sounding
Yeah.
song. Yeah.
Stage dive. Hey, that stage dive didn't work out for you, did it?
No, he crashes.
Hey, man.
Don't
You gotta warn the
spoil.
monsters next time. That was great. It was fun singing. Selena, I was glad you sang, by the way.
Oh.
You sounded nice.
Did you think I wasn't going to?
Yeah, I thought you were going to back away and say, no, you do it. But you didn't.
No,
Yeah.
it was fun. It was good because they had already done all their parts, so it was easy for me to come in and sing some of it.
Whose part did you like the best? Of all the parts.
David?
Ah.
It was a little weird to write a song and have Selena Gomez and CeeLo end up singing it. I'm used to having Adam or Triumph the Insult Comic Dog sing songs. It's a lot lower standard that I set myself to. So I was very intimidated, actually. So thank you for doing that. You did great.
Okay, we have a question over here.
Hi, dear old Jordan Hicks, CHML AM 900.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk a little bit about the Saturday Night Live connection. Could you just kind of talk a little bit about the camaraderie? You seem to do a lot of productions together, take on a lot of projects together.
I loved working on Saturday Night Live. It was one of my favorite things. To sit, I never made it into a lot of sketches, but I was behind the scenes.
Sour grapes.
Yeah.
Gandy's audition was hilarious, though.
Yeah.
Gandy, we'll get that out there for you. Saturday Night Live is a nice. Molly, what do you think? You can answer this one.
Well, like I said before, there's just because I worked with Robert and Adam and Andy. We weren't there during the same time, but I know him from the show, and David. So you just have that trust, and it just feels like you're working with friends. So it's just fun, and you feel safe and trusted, and I don't know. It's a great experience.
Adam sort of developed his own ensemble over the years too. That includes people like Kevin, and
now
so,
Selena.
and Steve Buscemi, who.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, where's he? Where's CeeLo?
CeeLo's here.
Is
He
he
didn't
here?
want to be a part of this.
Is he distancing himself?
He's backstage pouting. He's here, though.
He's doing a Mummy spin-off. No one's aware of it yet.
When you're doing the grind of Saturday Night Live, what do you come away with, other than exhaustion?
You're young, so you don't even feel it. Like when we were on Saturday Night Live, we were at the right age. Smigel stayed on longer than us till he got old, and his socks got longer off his feet. But yeah, no, you don't feel the grind because you're so excited to be there. I think, right? Andy, you were there more recent.
Well, I did 7 seasons. By the end, I was pretty exhausted.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
Is that why you look so beat up?
That's why. Thanks, Spade.
Spade, who's 60. Oh, thank you. You know what? In the morning, I get a. Oh. Do you want my regime? A little proactive.
Kevin, maybe we can go back to something Adam said before. Making movies for your kids now. How important is that to you now that And Molly, you may want to chime in on this too.
Yeah, it was.
Andy, you got kids too.
Yeah, it's very important for me to just to be able to sit with them in the movies that I do. Hopefully that they can kind of take away something positive from it and have a good time and not feel so crazy. I guess that's just me. I think we got a lot of crazy stuff out there, which is great too for what it is. But I've definitely, even though I wasn't that crazy to begin with, I definitely lock in. When you have kids, you kind of really you feel much more responsible for what you do.
Do the kids ever ask to see like Chuck and Larry or something? Do you got to keep that from them?
Little things. They don't get Chuck and Larry. I don't get Chuck and Larry, so I don't know. But there's things I call up Sandler all the time. And go, I don't understand this. Can you explain it to me? But they're pretty good right now. They're still a little young, so.
Yeah.
I think it's, really a family film. It's not just targeting kids, and I think parents are going to really enjoy it too, and all ages. So that's sort
That's
of
the
what
key.
appealed
You're
to me.
right.
That
You're right.
it's a multi-generational, kind of very fun, well-animated movie, and there's a lot of references that everybody can relate to. So it's not at all like going to see a children's movie, even though I think that people can enjoy it on every level. And, all the years that I was doing The Nanny, there were people that weren't even alive when I was doing that show, and now they're watching it. And so I think that trying to strike that balance of coming up with comedy that appeals to adults as well as children is a great thing to, really leverage and find, and is what makes a good family film enduring.
It's true. It's true, and it's not easy to do. It's very
No, it's
difficult
not
to do
easy.
to catch everybody. It's
So many people come up and say, "Oh, this was what, in my childhood, we watched this all together as a family. That was the thing that we did together, and we all really enjoyed it. We all really look forward to it, and that makes me so happy." And I think that this movie has that same appeal.
Yeah.
I think what you guys are talking about is a 4-quadrant film. Am I wrong?
It feels to me.
Screw it, I'll say it.
If by 4
quadrants.
quadrant you mean everybody seeing it, yes. I mean, I don't know what 4 quadrant means necessarily in the business, but it feels that way. It feels headed that way.
It just feels like a thing that everyone should see
over and over again.
Over and over, forever, no matter
It's
what.
an upper.
My kids, I have an 8-year-old daughter and a 7-year-old son, Stella Nolan, and they are so excited to see this movie, and they're so excited that I'm in it, and they've seen the posters, and it's a whole different understanding when you actually have kids, because for us, going to the movies as a mom is one of my favorite things to do with my kids. It makes me feel like such a mother, and it's just amazing how you have such an understanding of what they think is funny and what they want to understand about the characters, and they're super excited about this movie.
I like it. Also, the big part of the movie is a father and daughter relationship, and having to let go a little bit. I don't know, seeing his daughter grow up, and it breaks your heart to see a dad struggling, and then also a boy coming into the daughter's life and having to deal with that. This is something very close to me in that. My kids are very young, but I feel it coming. I feel it coming. Yeah. That's what you're gonna ask.
What?
You're an overprotective father in this movie, correct?
Yes.
So,
yes.
How about we'll ask Selena? Are your parents still a little overprotective of you?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yes. Very.
Do you channel that at all? For your
yes, completely. Yeah, I can relate to it. I mean, I just turned 20. I still live at home, and so by my choice. And it's good, but we've had our up and downs. I'm still kind of dealing with it.
Do they ever yell at you and say, "Get a job"?
It's one thing I don't have to worry about.
Apart from it being a funny and entertaining movie, you throw in a lot of other themes, the multi-generational conflict. You talk about, themes of integration are in the movie too. You throw that sort of Talk a bit about structuring that movie and coming up with the storyline that sort of speaks to kids on one level and then also speaks to adults on another one.
Well, I think whenever you're doing anything, you kind of want to be sincere, and I don't think we ever set out to do, this is for kids, this is for adults. I think you just want to do it for that everybody laughs and everybody loves it, and I think you want to have, you kind of feel it out, and you want to have a little bit of everything out there for everybody who's watching it. So I think it's always hard when you're going, well, kids love cowboy jokes, let's put a cowboy joke in, I think, I like a fart joke as much as a 9-year-old, so it's kind of, you try to balance, and I think we're all still young at heart. And that's why we do this stuff, because it keeps us young, and it's fun.
I think we tried to get the adult themes to come out just organically, as opposed to, doing one movie for adults and one movie for kids and have them exist at the same time, and the comedy too. There aren't a lot of specific cultural references. A lot of the comedy the adults will hopefully be stuff that kids will laugh at too, as opposed to.
Yeah, I think you're trying always to do character stuff, and character, I think,
exactly
is broad for kids and adults. If you have a good character, it'll be funny for everybody.
6 quadrants.
Question down front.
See how many we can get by the end.
Hey everyone, Jennifer Pagliaro, Toronto Star. First question, Selena, you're working here with some serious comedy heavyweights. I'm wondering what that was like for you. You know, obviously you brought your musical talent, but you're kind of new to doing the animated comedy.
I'm new. I'm young and new in general, so it's very intimidating. That's not supposed to be offensive. Sorry if that is, but it's good. You know, I definitely, it was good for me at first to go in by myself so that I could kind of get used to the character. And I actually didn't know that he was watching the first time for a while, and I had no idea. But it was good. I met him, and he was really nice. So it was easy. Obviously.
And your show's funny. Your show
That's right.
it was a full-on comedy.
Yeah,
And
it was
you did.
good.
You did. My kids love Selena's show. We watched it all the time.
Thank
And
you so much.
it's a big deal that Selena's in the movie for all of us, that we get to tell our kids we know her, and it made my family tighter. Believe me.
Adam, if you could speak a little more to that, what was the draw to having Selena in the movie, and what was it like playing her dad in the movie? Was it weird since your kids have watched your show, and a little bit more about that?
It was great. It was fun to be her dad and to love her it was just amazingly exciting to be in the car with my kids and say Selena's playing Mavis in the movie, and my kids are like, no way, do we get to meet her? And they didn't meet Selena yet. They will if actually there's not gonna be a big premiere in LA, right? But we'll just go to Selena's house or something. Thank you, and meet her parents too. Yeah, it was a bit. I'm telling you, you say Selena's name to my kids' friends, and they just stop in their tracks and listen to everything you have to say. Oh, she's very nice. They just, what was she wearing? What was that? She is an icon to the children, and to many others also. 7 quadrants.
Fran, you've perfected one of the most distinctive voices on screen.
Well, who could make this up? I really didn't perfect it. I was born with it and figured out how to monetize it.
And how's that going?
Well,
Maybe Adam, you can talk a bit too about what turned you on to Fran for the role of Eunice.
I gotta say that was these guys talked about Fran, and I got excited for Fran. Right? That was Gendy's idea.
Yeah, I think we had that quite a while, and then I think Fran's amazing. I always said I actually had a little crush on her.
Yeah.
As
everybody
around.
did.
And my wife actually has a similar voice quality, slightly.
Yeah.
But it was great. Her voice has so much character, and that's the thing. I think in animation you want that. You want a great texture and character, and that the voice is caricatured and alive. And for sure, her voice is like that. So it was great.
Yeah, full on funny, smart lady, and everybody had a thing for Fran. Mine was during the movie Hollywood
Meanwhile,
Nights.
I'm single.
That's fine. Not after today.
My mom was once interviewed, and they said, did she always have that funny voice? And in the exact same voice, she said, we never knew she had a funny voice.
Okay, we've got time for a couple more questions. Before that, I just want to talk about the process of working on an animated project. Did you know what your characters looked like as you went into it, and so what you would emphasize and whatever voice you were trying to put on? Kevin, you want to start?
Yeah, I mean, they do. They bring in a big picture for you, which actually helps you kind of voice it. And I wasn't sure what they wanted, if they wanted like a normal voice, or am I trying to be like a Frankenstein guy? And Sandler helped me with that. I couldn't do the real Frankenstein guy, right? You had to help me with it, right? With some things. I had to go in and out of it, and we kind of did like a hybrid weird stuff, but it came out funny. It was good. So these guys definitely helped you out with, which way you wanted to go with it. But you do feel it when you see like the picture, and they'd show you some kind of, it'd be some raw animation of like things, some scenes. You can kind of really get into it, and see, and kind of feel the character and see what's going on.
So does anyone else want to talk about that? No?
I was just glad I had a small waist.
So then how much of the animation is done before the voicing is done on a
Usually
production?
none. You're always waiting for the voice track to guide you, guide your performance, guide the animators to follow the performance that the voice really sets up. So usually we're just waiting for the voice to be recorded, and then we start.
Okay, great.
These guys were kind of perfectly cast, and so we kind of wrote more to their voices. That you're Frankenstein?
That I'm Frankenstein. Yeah,
Actually,
that
you're
hurt
right.
Sam.
Well, no, but we wrote to the Kevin James voice. Like, we didn't really want, you know, he's so funny just being sort of a laid-back kind of Frankenstein, regular guy. Yeah. So really, it was really easy once everybody was cast just to kind of write toward their strengths. We know them so well. And Andy was the only one who was really like playing a broad.
Ruined it?
No, he's incredible.
I know we were looking for that.
He's incredible.
And Selena, you want to talk a bit about Mavis then too, when you saw the image of Mavis and what you were trying to project in that?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of took me a minute to picture what kind of voice that she would have. Luckily, I sound a lot. I don't sound 118, but I sound younger. So it was fun, though. It took me a minute to kind of figure out what I wanted to do, but it was fun. They helped me too.
Yeah, very sweet voice on the kid. And the Invisible Man, how did you feel about your look in the movie?
I know you did it on purpose, but I was like, what if? And then later in the movie, I was visible for a little bit. And then
Remember you wanted the goatee to be visible?
Hey. I want him to look cool. No, the glasses have eyebrows, which I thought was an interesting addition. So good job, Gandhi and your crew, and the whole gang over there. And
It was the hardest part of the job was to make, Invisible Man. He was, the acting, the performance that David did, it was hard for the glasses to emote as much as they.
He's still in the
as he
movie,
acted,
right?
yeah.
He's in the whole movie. He just doesn't talk a lot. I mean, every
He's
scene.
got the most screen time. Yes, that's correct.
Okay, Hotel Transylvania is a TIFF Kids presentation. It will have its TIFF premiere this afternoon at 2:30 p.m. at the Princess of Wales Theatre. I want to thank you all for being here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all for
everybody.
coming.